welcome to my brand new Flosstube channel. My name is Lacey and I currently live in Okinawa, Japan with my husband of 6 years, our 5-year-old daughter, and our 1-year-old son. When I was a kid, I was a serial craft starter, right? And my mom was a serial enabler, and I grabbed a little cross stitch kit. My mom didn't really care for cross stitch or know much about it, so she couldn't really teach me. I just kind of tried to teach myself by reading the kit, and me being the serial crafter I was and still sometimes can be, I would kind of learn it, probably wasn't doing it the right way, get very bored with it, and then it would get put away. So fast forward to 2021, I had my daughter, I was a stay-at-home mom, and for me, I really needed something that was mine, something that I loved and had a passion for that was outside of being a wife and a mother, because I love those things, but I felt like I didn't have anything that was just mine or like an identity of my own, right? So I remembered that I liked cross stitching when I was a kid, and I thought I'd give it another try. So I hop onto Amazon and I order like a beginner's kit, and for the 2 days that I'm waiting on it to come in, I'm on Flosstube religiously. I'm looking up every little detail, from how do you start a thread, how do you separate threads, how do you know how many threads to use, how do you end a thread, what kind of needle. And I probably overwhelmed myself with information, but I was really excited about it. So, and when I do things, I tend to jump, head first, all in. So that's what I did. So the kit came, and I didn't really know that there were 3 projects in there, and apparently there was like, do this one first because it's the easiest, and then this one, then this one. I didn't pay attention to that. I just pulled out the one I liked the best, and I got to work on it. And it turned out good. I didn't know it was supposed to be the last one, but it wasn't very hard. It just had some backstitch to it in a couple different colors, which was fine. I relied heavily on Flosstube, thanks guys, and I figured it out. And I was obsessed after that. So the short break I took was when I got not when I got pregnant with my son, but right after he was born, for about the first year of his life almost. Super busy with a newborn and a 5-year-old, so I didn't do much, if any, stitching through that time. And recently I have gotten back to it, and I'm enjoying it so much. So why I wanted to start a Flosstube channel, I've been watching a lot of Flosstube lately, and it looks like so much fun, honestly, just making the videos, sharing your projects. I don't really have anyone to share my projects with other than my husband, who tries to be supportive, right? And of course, he'll look, but it's not the same as someone who understands, someone who does your craft and loves it and has a passion for it and can truly appreciate the work that's put into it. And I see this community, these Flosstubers, starting stitch-alongs together and buying each other birthday gifts and shouting each other out in their channels and doing retreats, which I so hope to do when I get back to the States. That sounds like a literal dream come true. And I just want to be a part of that community. I think that's so awesome. I want stitchy friends. I want people to share my craft with. So I've been thinking about this for a while. Of course, I'm like all jittery and have the nerves about it, but I figured might as well just jump right in and give it a try and see how it goes. And so I'll jump right into the stitching now. I have not a ton of finishes, and most of them I don't have, because when I first started, I was purely doing it for other people and things to give away. I didn't really start projects that I wanted myself, and I hadn't found my style. I didn't even know if I wanted to hang cross stitch in my house. When I first started, I didn't. So I've evolved from there, and now my walls have many plans in my head. But the very first project I did, I do have that one. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. It's not a fully finished, but I do have it sitting around. So this is from that stamped kit from Amazon. It was on 11 count Aida with the threads from the kit, and I'll just go ahead and show you this cute little guy. It's my little bunny. You can see kind of the back stitching in there as well. But he was so much fun. He's so cute. I should probably do something with him, but I just don't know what I'm going to do yet. Alright, so that's the finish I have to show you. I would also really like to show you my favorite finish. I don't have it with me, again, because it was a gift. It was also a stamped kit from Amazon, but it was a gift for our pastor and his wife since we were getting ready to move over here. And I'll try, this is my first time making a video, so hopefully I can figure out how to insert a picture over here, and then I'll be able to show you guys that. They were and are still very special and dear to me, particularly because my husband and I started going to their church when we got married, and we moved to South Carolina, which is where his first duty station was when we got married. And through going to their church, I actually got saved and developed a relationship with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So they'll always have a very, very special place in my heart. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my whips. I don't have a ton of whips like most floss tubers. And it's funny, I always watch, I'm like, wow, I have no idea how they do that. How do you keep up with it? How do you work on that many projects and actually feel like you're making progress? But I'm easily enabled, and I'm sure I'll grow my whip pile through this channel, which is also very exciting, and we'll see how that goes. So the first one, this is the first counted project I started. After I finished those first two I told you about, I decided, oh, well, it's time to kit up my own project and do a counted project. And I was all over Etsy, and I found this shop that I liked a lot of their patterns, and they were having like a buy my whole shop sale, and I'm like, yes, I need to do that. And I did. And then I started this project with no real plan of what I was going to do for it, and I still really don't have a plan. It's my oldest whip. I got pretty far in it, but I got really stuck because through this project I learned that I despise stitching white on white. Even now, if I see a project that I'm in love with, but it has an overwhelming amount of white stitches or almost white stitches, especially large blocks of it, I tend to steer away from that because I know that I'll get bored with the project. I'll probably start to hate it, and I don't want to do that to myself. So this is from, sorry, I have my notes over here. I don't know that the project has a name necessarily, but it's from a shop called The Stitch Patterns on Etsy, and this is it. So it's about 4 pages, and you can see I've done the first 3, most of it, but right here, obviously Daisy, Donald down there, that's a lot of white, and I had a really hard time with it, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm not loving the coverage with the black. This is all with DMC threads. I'm doing 2/1 on a 14 count, and everything looks fine to me except the black. I'm just really struggling with it, but I'm hoping, since I'm showing it to you guys, that will inspire me to go back and finish it. Unfortunately, I still don't know what I'm going to do with it when it's done. Maybe hang it in my kids' room or something. They might like that. Okay. So my next whip, it's kind of an embarrassing start, and I don't even know if I should show it because I haven't decided if I'm going to finish it. But it is a kit from Cross Stitcher magazine from the issue November 2023, and it's a gingerbread house kit, which I love the idea of. I really want to make it. I've never made anything like that, just, you know, flat things. I'm sure I can do it. Might be a challenge. And I really want, I love Christmas. I love Christmas things. I love Christmas projects. So I really want to make it to put in my house. So I'm going to show it to you guys, if nothing else, for accountability, so that maybe I will. But this is my teensy tiny little start. You can't tell what it's going to be, but should be a 3D gingerbread house one day. Maybe by next Christmas, because I have plans already for this Christmas, and I'm pretty much going to be focusing on that. So we'll see. Speaking of my current Christmas plans, I'm working on, from the same issue of Cross Stitcher magazine, I absolutely fell in love with this project when I saw it. It is by Emma Congdon. I hope I'm saying that right. I tend to butcher names, so I apologize ahead of time for that. But it is a gingerbread house recipe. It's a sampler style pattern, which I think is really cool. And it's a Christmas pattern which doesn't have a ton of white in it, which I'm super, super excited about. I'll try to post a picture of the pattern, what it's going to look like when it's finished here. but I've been working on it a good bit lately, and I've gotten, you can see this pink and red border right here. Now I just need to go around it in, there's like a gingerbready looking color, this brown, maybe you can kind of see it there. And then there's like another layer around the border. There's going to be a roof and then a lot of things on the inside, which again, I'm going to try to show you. I'm probably going to frog this. Can you guys even see? It's just, I did it with one thread, the back stitching, and I feel like you can't read it at all because of the green. I don't know if I should change the color or if I should just use 2 strands for the back stitching, which I've never done, but it kind of seems like it might be the way to go. If you guys have any advice on that, I'm super open to it. I would love to hear what you have to say. Okay, so yeah, if you want to give me your advice on that, you can leave it in the comments, or I will have in the description a link to my Instagram where you can direct message me, and then I'll also link an email address where you can email me, and I would be very happy to hear your advice. So this next project is my baby, and I love it so much. I kind of abandoned everything else for quite some time to just work on it. I found Heaven and Earth Designs a while back, and I thought, no way, I'll never be able to do that. But I liked watching other people do it, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I realized if I can do tiny projects, why can't I do a huge project? It's the same thing, it's just more stitches, right? I could do 100 tiny projects, or I could do this one huge project. And I looked at, I kid you not, every single pattern on their website, which if you've been to Heaven and Earth Designs website, you know is a lot. Spent days doing it. And I saved all my favorites to my wish list, and then I spent weeks trying to narrow it down, but there was one that I just couldn't stop thinking about. It was on my mind, so I bought it. I bought some 25 count. This was also the first project I started on Even Weave instead of Ada, and let's see, yeah, I went and bought all the DMC threads for it. This is the Mountain Cabin by Dominic Davison. It is 375,550 stitches total, and I have 23,299 stitches total. So I'm just at 6.2%, and I just finished the 3rd page, not the 3rd page in order, but the 3rd page that I've done. As you can see, I'm not necessarily going in order. So I started with this page right here, and there were a lot of color blocks in the sky, and then the tree was very confetti heavy. So that was my first experience with that, and it went pretty good. And then I moved to this page. I did this one second, and it's mostly just blocks of color, which was a great break at first. But then after a while, I was like, oh, I kind of want to work on more like detailed design. And that is what led me to going down here instead of keeping on going across with the sky. And this one is pretty good. It was a little bit of a mixture. It was mostly tree, mostly confetti, but it had some blocks of color too. So now I'm starting on this page right here because I'm absolutely obsessed with the colors in the sky on that page, as opposed to this one, which I'll probably do next. But this one right here has a lot of the oranges and pinks, whereas this one has more of the like kind of tan and gray colors in it, which is fine. But this one also has some yellow and some other colors that I haven't got to stitch yet, and I'm really excited to stitch. So I'm going to try to see if I can give you guys some, can you see the detail? Like particularly right here was my favorite area to stitch, because those colors, guys, oh, they're so pretty. But yeah, this is my baby. I love it, and I have to really force myself to work on other things because it's fun. I love the way the fabric feels. I'm just really enjoying stitching on it. And that's another reason with the gingerbread house why I didn't get very far on it, because the fabric's super thick and like stiff. And after working on this like soft even weave, it's really hard for me to make myself work on that. But we're going to get to it. We're going to get through it, and it's going to be okay. So that's it for my current active whips, although I'm getting ready to start another one, hopefully today, but most likely it's going to be Monday or maybe this weekend, but when I have both kids home, it's a lot harder to get some stitching in. So I bought a pattern during Heaven and Earth Design's latest sale, and it's a quick stitch pattern because I didn't want to commit to another full size Heaven and Earth Designs while I'm really trying to focus on this one. So I looked at some story keeps and some quick stitches and some minis, and ultimately I saw this pattern and I fell in love with it. I knew the very second I saw it that I had to stitch it. It's very different from the mountain cabin. The colors are different, they're brighter, and it's just completely different and not like anything else I've stitched so far, so I'm really excited about it. It has 158,800 stitches and 90 colors, and I just got some happy mail today. Because I'm in Japan, it takes a long time to get things. I can get a lot of things shipped here because it's a military post office, so it's still technically an American address, but whereas it should only take 2, 3, 5, 6, whatever days in America, it still has to go overseas and it has to go through customs to get here, so it takes a lot longer to get things. But I've been tracking it, trying not to check the tracking every single day, but it's really, really hard when you're waiting on Stitchy Mail, as I'm sure you all know. But it just arrived today, and I'm actually getting ready to go pick it up from the post office now. So I'll do that, and then when I come back, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Okay, I'm back. I got my Stitchy Mail, and I'm so excited. So the pattern is Quick Stitch Patchwork Quilt Room by Ciro Marchetti from Heaven and Earth Designs. So a quick stitch is just, it's not like a mini pattern, it's not a condensed smaller version of the whole pattern, it's just like a snippet, it's like a crop, a piece of the pattern, and the piece is perfect for me. I mean, I love it. There's plenty of detail in there. Okay, so for my mail, I have the fabric for it. This is a 25 count Lugana fabric from 123 Stitch. It's 27 by 36, you guys. It's huge. This is actually the same size fabric I have for my full size Haid pattern, and I don't necessarily need one this big, but I didn't want to wait on a custom piece. I really, really wanted to get it soon and get started. Plus, I can just cut this and then I'll have enough fabric to do like a small pattern. And I need some small patterns added for some palette cleansers. You guys, I don't even think you can see the whole thing. Maybe if I hold it like this. There we go. It's absolutely giant. But yeah, so the pattern's not going to be that big, but still very exciting. And here's my beautiful threads. I mean, as you can see in the pattern, the colors are just phenomenal. And I had almost half. I bought 32 colors, so I guess I had like, no, I bought 38, so I had like 52, but you guys, look at these colors. Look at this. The colors are phenomenal, so bright, so pretty. That's super exciting. All right, so that's pretty much it for the stitchiness that I have going on right now. Another thing I plan to try to do is I have a piece of fabric. I don't really have a plan for it. I'm gonna try to tea dye it just to see if I can and see how it looks. And I would like to put like a fall pattern on there if it turns out good. So hopefully that'll turn out good and I'll be able to show that to you guys when I come back. As you can see back here, that's a blanket I've been working on. I also do some crocheting. I kind of did it a lot for a short period of time when I learned, and I've fallen back on that. I'm actually working on 2 blankets right now, and once I'm done with those, I don't see any plans in the near future of any crocheting. So this channel is really just for my cross stitching and needlework. But if you guys are interested, you do want to see the blankets or have any more details about that, you can just let me know in the comments and I'll show it towards the end of my next video when I'm done with all the stitchy stuff. So alright, so that's it for this video. I knew it would be kind of short because my whip pile is kind of short right now, but I plan to make an update video in about 2 weeks because I would like to post bi-weekly. We'll see how that goes, how everything flows, how much progress I'm making, and I hope to see you guys then. Until then, If you have any questions or any suggestions, you can leave them in the comments here, and then I'll also tag my Instagram and my email in the description. Thank you guys.